What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Double Tech. It's your boy Dave here with Q.
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, so we caught the second playoff game of Saturday divisional round. San Francisco 49ers traveling to Green Bay. Green Bay coming off a bye week.
Fraud.
You said it yesterday.
Fraud.
You said it yesterday. Packers struggle off the bye week. You called that one.
I said it.
You also let us know that when things get a little weird, when things get a little freaky, you can count on Deebo Samuel to come out and show out, which he did in the closing moments. And Shanahan showed some huge balls on that play to run the ball, 37.
Yes, finally.
To the injured receiver.
Finally.
Yeah. Finally. What are your thoughts on that?
My biggest thought is if you would have done this show earlier that day and you would have told me that we would be going after the Green Bay Packers drive the ball upfield on their first possession with ease, that we would get into 11 minutes and 14 seconds in the fourth quarter and the game would be 7-3. I would have told you was a lie. But lo and behold, they left San Francisco a chance. And one thing Kyle Shanahan's been doing with Deebo Samuel, so you say there's a chance, right? That man was hurt, and he comes in there. We talking about Kobe shooting free throws off the Achilles. We talking about Jordan flu game. We talking about he puts Deebo Samuel in that game, and what does he do? He goes in there and gets you the game-winning first down. And that's something that, as a 49ers fan, if you are one, you're going to remember that moment if they mess around and make it to the Super Bowl this year. Respect to the 49ers. The Packers went out there and they looked like frauds. They had the entire nation fooled. That's what fooled.
Aaron Rodgers, right?
Aaron Rodgers. They had the entire nation fooled. They had people thinking they were the most consistent team in the NFL. And once again, he's bounced out in the first round.
Once again, bounced out in the first round. And now we have to question, does Aaron Rodgers even stay, right? Bigger. If you guys, Double Tech fans, want to check out our thoughts on that, we're going to be doing a video in the future about whether Aaron Rodgers is going to remain a Green Bay Packer or not. For now, talking about the game, it felt as if, I'll be honest, Aaron Rodgers looked like he didn't want to be playing in Green Bay anymore, not because of the Packers or the lure or the pressure, but because he was too damn cold. That was the first time I've ever seen him freezing ass cold in a game where you could tell his adrenaline was not pumping. He was not in the zone like he is in other playoff games. And this one, he was feeling the effects of the weather, of maybe being a little lethargic about this game, or maybe he knew there was something going on with the game plan that wasn't working out, because we were talking about how they were going to match physicality. And they
started the game that way.
And they started the game that way, but they were not able to maintain that throughout. And that was huge. And it comes back to these same problems we've been talking about with Aaron Rodgers. That lack of a second target after Devontae Adams has crushed them over and over and over. And when it's happening from a team like San Fran that doesn't have an elite secondary, doesn't have a lockdown Jalen Ramsey out there, I mean, come on.
And it's crazy, too, because you have Aaron Jones, you have a running back with over 120 receiving yards. Yeah. All I read from that is you could not finish. And when's the last time we seen that they could not finish in the end zone when it counted? The NFC championship last year, when Green Bay calls the run instead of letting Rodgers throw it into the end zone. It's always something. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't want to be in Green Bay. It seems like there's always something. I mean, we do have to address the fact that the biggest issue Rodgers had is they don't get him the help that he needs. And these are the moments where it shows Green Bay is too okay with being mediocre.
Yeah, absolutely.
They know that their quarterback is good enough to get them to the playoffs, and they don't want to pay anybody. So they're willing to get to the playoffs and throw up a prayer. And then you get guys that go to other teams. They get free agents. They get defensive masterminds. They get all these pieces. And when you put them up against each other, it no longer becomes Rodgers versus Tom Brady, Rodgers versus Breeze at one point in time. It becomes Rodgers versus everybody. Yeah. And that's what we saw. If Rodgers can't put the game together, there's nobody else that's worth a damn.
Yeah, I'm looking back at these situations, even this past season. Brady was given Antonio Brown in addition to be successful. Matthew Stafford was given Odell Beckham Jr. Where was Green Bay in the Odell Beckham sweepstakes, right?
They could have used him.
They didn't offer more than the minimum because they didn't want him in the first place. Who knows why? I guess personality reasons or some type of connection.
Why? Green Bay's a good old boys club, man. They don't want Odell Beckham. You know that. And they hurt. And honestly, you know what? You might deserve to lose this game.
And that will cost them both Rodgers and Devontae Adams in free agency if they don't figure that out. Because if I'm Devontae Adams, why am I staying to play with Jordan Love? That's not happening. So that's a package deal.
Yes.
And the defense, again, Jimmy Garoppolo didn't go out and win this game. He just didn't lose it.
No.
He did not attempt to pass over 9 yards.
Yes.
The entire
It was kind of annoying, too, because there was a point in the game where I was like, man, where's Trey Lance? Like, where's Trey Lance? Y'all might need to pull that man in.
Bruh.
Because the biggest thing I noticed with Jimmy G in that game, because like you said, we have to highlight this. He did not play a good game. There was a point in time my man had negative yards on 6 passes. That's not okay. But what you get from Jimmy G is he's in the pocket. The Green Bay secondary was playing phenomenal, but he has no ability to move from where he is standing. He is not good at stepping up in the pocket. He has no mobility. He is just a dying rabbit sitting in the pocket, just waiting for somebody to hit him. You at least you're not even, you have Debo Samuel, you got you got a lot of speed guys who, if you're doing underneath stuff, but everybody knows that's what they want. They want underneath stuff because Jimmy G can't throw a deep ball. And still, the fraudulent Green Bay Packers gave up the draws to that team. And now you have to say the same as the Bengals. They are running on adrenaline. You done let this team get confidence. I personally don't believe that those injuries sustained to Kittle and Debo Samuel are going to be huge. I think they had to deal with the weather. I think they were,
as well as
bones.
Right? Yeah, Trent Williams also get hurt, which is a big deal.
Yes, I think you saw a lot of cold bones. You know what I'm saying? When you get hit and your bones are freezing, that's a different type of hit. I think we'll see them come back next week against whomever they're playing. And with this kind of momentum, they beat the tough ones. They played 2 tough games. What if this next one's not so tough, right?
Well, you're hoping, if you're San Francisco, that you can get the 3rd matchup with the LA Rams, who you've defeated twice.
Yes.
The last time they played in Los Angeles, it was basically a neutral site game, if not a San Francisco 49ers home game in the LA stadium. So that's the game that you want because you've been able to match them in terms of physicality, and you don't want Jimmy G versus Brady. That's not the game for the 49ers. They're able to the Rams, just like we mentioned with Burrow facing Chiefs, there is a path to the Super Bowl.
And I think Jimmy G versus Brady would be too personal. Jimmy G is not ready for a moment like that. No, he's not ready for a moment like that.
Wow. What a storyline, though. I think it would be such a storyline either way because you either have the divisional rival and you're going for defeating the same team 3 times in a season, which is rare, or you have Jimmy G versus Tom Brady. And, my former mentor, we both got kicked out in New England. We both had to pack our bags and got thrown out.
Not only that, though, but Tom Brady's stint in New England, it all really started coming to an end when the Jimmy G became the issue, right? Because Bill wanted Jimmy G to start. Robert Kraft told him no. He vetoed that, man, said it's not happening. Now, it seems like the Patriots start tanking out to make Brady leave,
Very true, yep.
So we'll see where that goes, though. I mean, you never know. But the 49ers, they're tough now. They're tough. They've let them in the door. They have let them in the door. And
this has been a huge, regardless of the fact that he didn't play well. He didn't do what Tannehill did and lose the game.
Yes.
So if Jimmy Garoppolo is not the 49ers quarterback next year, he will be starting on a contender regardless.
Yes.
And that's huge for his confidence.
And that's huge for his job is the same as Tannehill's is. Don't lose us the game.
Just don't lose it. I mean, you could see him joining a team like the Steelers, for example, after Ben Roethlisberger. What if they get Jimmy Garoppolo? And so there's a lot of interesting storylines in terms of if they don't win. But he has the chance to be San Francisco's quarterback of the future, regardless of Trey Lance, if they go ahead and win this whole thing. So we're going to be following closely what happens with Jimmy G in the next matchup next week. We're excited for Sunday in divisional playoff round where we got that Rams versus Bucks matchup.
Got the GOAT.
Every time we get Brady playing, I mean, it's exciting. It's
excited.
We'll be talking our cash shit. I'm rooting for Stafford. So we'll see how that goes. Double Tech fans, let us know in the comments what you think about Jimmy G. And check out our video on the Instagram page where he tells Robbie, go F the Packers, man. Happy about getting that dub.
Yes, sir. All right, man. We'll talk one more.